Okay, till where we were discussing. Okay, totally we have around 76 slides, 76 or 77 slides are there. Okay, we had completed progressive kill. Next is chemical seasoning. In this method, the timber is immersed in a solution of suitable salt. Then the timber is dried in a kiln. The preliminary treatment by chemical seasoning is ensures uniform seasoning of outer and inner parts of the timber. Okay, the difference between chemical seasoning and kiln seasoning is that in chemical seasoning, in the kiln seasoning, we are directly keeping the timber into the kiln. But whereas in the chemical seasoning, first the timber is treated with the chemical solution. Okay, suitable salt solution, it will be treated with the salt solution. After that we are keeping it into the kiln. So the difference between the output is, in the chemical seasoning, uh, the outside and the inside, okay, the outer part and inner part of the timber will have same content of moisture. There will not be any difference. Okay, that is the only difference between the chemical seasoning and kiln seasoning. In chemical seasoning, we are treating with the salt solution, then we are keeping it into the kiln. Next, electrical seasoning. Okay, in this method, high frequency alternate electric current is passed through timber. Resistance to electric current is low when moisture content in timber is high. Okay, as moisture content reduces, the resistance reduces. Measure of resistance can be used to stop seasoning at appropriate level. However, it is costly process. The technique has been tried in some plywood industries, but not in the seasoning of timber on mass scale. Okay, so electrical seasoning is nothing but here we are applying alternate electric current. Okay, alternate electric current. Here the timber is a conductor material. It is a insulator. It is not a conductor. But if there is a moisture content in that, if there is a more water content in that, then this slight conduction will be there. Okay, slight conduction will be there if there is a more moisture content or water in that. So when this alternate electric current is passed through the this one the, timber, when it is passed, if there is a more moisture content, there will be more conduction. If there is a no moisture content, there is no conduction, right? So when it is applied, this timber gives resistance to the uh, passage of current, but due to the moisture content there will be a transmission. So when it is continuously being applied, the moisture content can be reduced. Okay, but this is a very costly method. If you are if so it is this method is not used by the mass scale for of seasoning. Okay, for large amount of seasoning if we are going, so this method will not be uh, economical. So this method can be used only by some plywood industries. Okay, because there will not be mass of wood or timber. So seasoning at a larger scale cannot be done by electrical seasoning. First of all, it is very difficult and also costly also. Next, methods of seasoning. Air seasoning, we have seen some of the methods and types are almost the same. Okay, so I don't think we require again explanation. The same thing is there in that. Kiln seasoning also we have seen. Next is solar kiln. This method combines the speed of kiln seasoning with the low energy of air drying. Okay, this method combines the speed of kiln seasoning with the low energy of air. Okay, solar kiln have single thickness window on a south side of the structure that work as collector to trap the sun's energy. Heat collectors made from the black metal are attracted near the top of the window sashes. Okay, So here we have a container. Okay, here we have a container, and we have a window which is having a uniform thickness, which is facing the south end, which absorbs the solar energy and give it to the inside container. Okay, that is the solar kiln and solar container. Various method force the heated air is circulated through the kiln to dry the wood. Some solar kiln have insulation to retain heat at night. Okay, the process takes approximately twice as long as the traditional kiln seasoning. Because of its gentle nature, it is well suited to producing the wood of furniture and fabrication. Okay, solar kiln compared to a normal kiln, it will take around two times the time, total time for the seasoning. And second thing, when it's inside, the insulation will be provided inside the container, so that even at the night, the absorbed air should retain into the container. Even at the night, the absorbed heat should retain into the container. That's why the insulation will be provided inside the this one container. You can see here the picture is there. With the help of this picture, you can see in the first pic, in the left hand side at the top, you can see the person is making the container. Okay, in the second pic, you can see there is a fan which will blow the hot air, and at the top, in the bottom pictures, you can see a complete solar container, because in which the this method is carried out. Okay, at the top, you can see a single window of the same thickness, from which the heat is absorbed, and it will be transported to the inside part, in which the timber will be kept, and the air will be circulated. And as the heat is taken from the solar, the heat goes inside, and the air will be passed. The air will become hot, and it will be circulated among the timber, and the timber will get seasoned. It will take twice time as that of the previous one, that is kiln seasoning. Next we have microwave seasoning. In microwave seasoning uses pulse energy, okay, directed into the timber to drive out moisture in a manner that will not cause seasoning degrade. This method also provides advantage such as high speed and high quality, and is well suited for seasoning lumber, blocks, veneer, chips, paper, and wood-based composite materials. Okay, here in microwave seasoning, the seasoning is done in the microwave. A big microwaves will be there, in which the seasoning will be done. Okay, with the seasoning which is done by this way, will drive out a good quality of the material, and the speed of seasoning is also very much high. And this type of seasoning is suited for these types of these some of these types of the timber, lumber, blocks, veneer, chips, and some of the paper and wood based composite materials. Areas in the wood with the most moisture absorb the most energy, resulting in the even temperature drying, and the drying process and the uniform moisture content. These factors enhance the quality and reduce the timber checking and warping. So here what happens, as you are putting it into the microwave, okay, you are putting the timber into the microwave, and there is a uniform heat production in the whole inside in the whole body of the microwave. Okay, wherever in timber there may be chances that in the particular place there will be a more moisture, in a particular another place, or suppose in one end more moisture, and in another end there is a less moisture content. But as because there is a uniform temperature in the whole body in the microwave, this will dry off completely, and the moisture content which will retain at the last in the timber will be uniform, so it will give a good product after the completion of this seasoning. So you can see these are the pictures of microwave seasoning. Okay, so like this, a microwave wave will be there, inside which we are putting the timber into it, and after that we can take it off. Now coming to the advantages of seasoning. Okay, three most important advantages of seasoning have already been made apparent. Those are, seasoned timber lasts much longer than the unseasoned, since the decay of timber is due to the attack of wood destroying the fungi. And since the most important condition of growth of these fungi is water, anything which lessens the amount of water in the wood aids in preservation. Okay, so what is seasoning actually doing? What we are doing actually in seasoning, we are reducing the water content of the timber, or we are drying the timber. So if we don't do that seasoning, then definitely the moisture content in the timber is there, and it will lead to the attack of fungi, and it will destroy the properties of the timber. Okay, and also if we are doing the seasoning, all the properties of the timber will get enhanced, right? All the properties of timber can be improved because of seasoning, but except shrinkage. Okay, keep that thing in mind. Okay, so that's why the seasoning should be done. That is the advantage of seasoning. Second advantage, in the case of treated timber, seasoning before the treatment greatly increase the effectiveness of the ordinary method of treatment, and the seasoning after treatment prevents the rapid leaching out of the salt introduced to the preserved to preserve the timber. So here, when you have brought a fresh timber, so at the beginning, before the treatment, so in a natural way only, the seasoning starts, and it runs in an effective way. So as the moisture content in the timber starts to reduce to a certain extent, the seasoning speed will reduce. Okay, at the starting. Okay, if there is a suppose the moisture content in the timber is around 50%. Okay, around 50% of moisture content is there. So for starting, suppose for starting first week, it can reduce up to 10% or 20% in the first week. The moisture content in a natural way, around 20% of the moisture can be reduced in the first week. But in the second week, again it will not be a 20%, it will reduce somewhat. Okay, but after the treatment, the salt which is been introduced to preserve the timber can be leached out in a proper way. That is the advantage actually. Now the coming to the third one, the saving in freight, where the timber is shipped from one place to another. Few persons realize how much water green wood contain. Okay, or how much it will lose in a comparatively short time. Experiments along this line with the lodge pole pine, white oak, and chestnut gave results which were surprise to the companies owning the timber. Okay, when we are shipping a timber, freight is nothing but the goods of the timber. Okay, when we are transporting from one place to another place. Okay, so when it is a fresh timber, so see, the main thing when we are transporting any material is the weight of the material. If the weight of material is more, then the cost of the transportation will be more. Okay, weight and volume is very important thing for transporting any material in terms of the cost. Okay, so when you are transporting a green timber or a fresh timber, the weight of the timber will be much more high because of the moisture content. When once the timber is seasoned, then there will be a reduction in the weight weight of the timber. Okay, if the shrinkage happens, then it will reduces the volume also. That it is, but it is up to a little extent only. Okay, shrinkage, but weight is to a large extent. And the people who are working in the shipping of the timber, they have experienced a lot in this, that fresh timber and the seasoned timber. Okay, these are the advantages of the seasoning. Okay, this completes all about the seasoning. Okay, so it's already time. So, and okay, one more slide is there. Freight charges vary considerably in different parts of the country. A decrease of 35 to 40% in weight is important enough to deserve everywhere serious consideration from those in charge of the timber operation. When timber is shipped a long distances over the several roads, as in coming to be more and more the case, the saving in freight will make a material difference in cost of lumber operation, irrespective of any other advantage of the seasoning. Okay, so when you are taking a fresh timber, or when you are taking a seasoned timber, there is a weight difference of around 35 to 40%. Okay, there is a weight difference of around 35 to 40%. You can imagine how much there is a reduction in the weight of the timber in between a fresh timber and in a seasoned timber. That's why as the weight will be more, then the cost also, cost of shipping and transporting will be more. Okay, so that is the thing here. Next, after this we have MCQs. Okay, so I think let us stop for today, and we will discuss the this one, MCQs, in the tomorrow's class. Okay, let me take the attendance. Okay, the battery of the laptop is also less.
64, sir.
Wait a minute, I'll take the screenshot of this.
TEB 64.
Wait a minute, I'll take the screenshot of it so that I can manage it well. Okay, let us stop here. I have taken a screenshots of the participants. Let us continue in the next class.